Hello everyone, it's Jean from the Inky Owl Studio, and I'm here with a flip through of my Edgar Allan Poe Journal. I love how this turned out. So the cover is a cloth. This is a nice fabric here. It's been put onto two craft envelopes, so it has a pretty stiff cover to it. And the front of it, I have layered here about 3 different layers. This frame that I cut down and put onto some chipboard, so it has a really nice dimension to it. Not sure the camera is picking it up. This is from one of my free printout that I have, and I'm going to list down below the video that lists all that. And then also at the end of this video, if you're interested, I'm going to put in how I assembled and made this little frame. And it has lace down here. I cut some lace out, some of these flowers out from a big lace piece, and glued them on. I really like that lace, and it's held together, or it's closed with a seam binding tie. And this is a vintage binding that I got, so it's a really high quality seam binding, kind of probably better than what we get today. And then we'll get started on the inside. Oh, here is the back with the raven on the back to kind of hold in the tie. Oops, piece of lace there. So it has the envelope, the flip out envelope has this really nice lace pocket. And I am using the Poe Journal from my porch prints, and also a couple of other artists, so I'll list those down below. This flips open and has a little booklet here on the inside, and a tuck spot with a couple of journal opportunities. Love this grungy digital print. I have put in some tea stain paper. Whoops, I think this has got 2 pages at once. Yes, and I tried to grunge up my paper a little bit here, and well, I guess I did grunge it up. And here, I love this digital as well. This is a grungy lace digital. Really thought that went very well since I'm doing a lot of lace in here. And here is a floating pocket. And inside of the pocket, I printed out a letter onto parchment paper. And that slips inside with some little bit of lace, and then you can maybe have a secret place to write. And a little tuck spot that you may want to put in something. And this opens up on the inside, and there's a little bit of collaging and a place to write. And I have a video on how I assembled these floating pockets, so I'll list that below in case you're interested. And here is a journal card inside of a bag. And this is parchment paper I printed on. And this is like a, maybe call it a belly band with 2 pockets in it, but this is on cardstock tag. And then inside the pockets are 2 more little tags with a little bit of ribbon stapled at the top. So I tried to pick up on the burgundy and the dusty rose colors from this kit, and I put it inside the lace and sewed scraps of it to the different pages. This is a reproduction of the Sears catalog. More tea stain paper and lovely Victorian home. Here is a pocket, an envelope pocket that I created. And here's the journaling card. And this, I imagine this to be Lenore. And so that's part of my free digital as well. A little bit of vintage lace around it. Some more tea stain paper. Another really nice digital. This is a vintage music sheet, and it's called Spooks. And it has a little cute words to the music up there. And then here's a glassine bag with a couple of more journal cards stuck on the inside. And here is an envelope. I've sewn around the envelope here on the edges. I've sewn around a few of these pieces of ephemera. I've not glued it together in case the person may want to write on the inside. But I have here a digital copy of Poe's handwriting and on parchment paper, and that is stuck inside there with a rusty paper clip and a ribbon. I have done that to all of the clipped in ephemera. Here's the center page, and I have a little owl charm that I put in here. I like to put in my journals. Some more tea stained paper. The other side of that glassine bag. Here's the other long tag, and this double pocket with a couple of more tags that go in there. Here is an envelope, the other side of that envelope, and this one I imagine to be Annabelle Lee with a journaling card. Since this in this poem she was very, very young, and so I chose a portrait of a very young girl here. And here's some more beautiful. Here is a bookmark, and I also have directions on how I made this magnetic bookmark, and I'll list that down below as well. I had put on the end of it a charm made from vintage jewelry, and it's magnetic, and you can also write here on the inside, and it just slips over your page like so. And the other side with some more of that house. This tea stain paper turned out really nice. I really like it. It's just enough crunch, I think, for me anyways. And here's Poe's name is inside this poetry book. This is the other side of that reproduction series page. And here's the last floating pocket, and you have a little secret place to write here, and you can just tuck it in underneath that ticket. To elevate the soul, poetry is necessary. And he loved writing poetry, so that's a good quote, I think. And these are just the little journaling opportunities in the floating pocket. You can glue this in as well, or you can just keep it and journal on the back of it. Here's the other journal card. Here is a lace flip. You can write over this and kind of hide the words a little bit maybe with this beautiful, beautiful piece of lace. And here's the last. I have Tim Holtz die cut with little tiny tickets and tags to journal on. And then slip pockets, there's two larger tags mounted on cardstock. And here is a little pocket inside this one. And then there's a longer one here in the back for writing as well. So I do love the way this turned out. It was lots of fun to work with this kit. And I hope it is a good rendering of Poe in his time. So this will be in my Etsy shop for sure. And also, if you're hopefully you'll stick around to see how I created the front of that cover. And if not, please hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and also subscribe and see what other journals I'm going to be having up soon. So thank you for viewing, and we'll talk to you later. Just wanted to take a few minutes here to show you how I made the frame on the cover of the Poe Journal. And this, of course, is the printout in my freebie. And you can apply this technique to anything that has that seems to have a lot of elaborate layers to it. So first of all, I printed one copy that was pretty well saturated, kind of as high as I could get on the ink saturation of my computer or my printer. And the next one was a little lighter, just a tad lighter than the first one, which is optional. You probably could have I could have done them both the same saturation, but I just made it a little lighter. And what I'm trying to do is create depth in the layers. And then I went on the copy, I cut, you can see where I cut all the way around this area in here. I took an oval die cut and cut out his portrait. All right, and then I glued them all onto a lightweight chipboard. And so I got this from like a writing pad, at the end of a writing pad you might have, or you could really use a cereal box, as well, something that is a real kind of a heavy thing. And I glued them onto that board, and then I cut around that, of course. And my die cut wouldn't go through the chipboard, so I did cut that by hand. But so then I took the middle layer here and I put a coat of Mod Podge on it, just to give a little bit of a slight glossiness to it, and maybe you can kind of see that. So my idea was to make that even pop out more from the back of the frame. And then I would glue this over it, and then I would glue the portrait on top of that. So then we have this really neat dimensional piece to put on the cover, or whatever you would like to do. It just makes it a little bit more pop out than if it was just a plain thing. So I don't know, just wanted to share that with you. I know I'm really into layering chipboard pieces on top of each other lately, but really thought this idea was kind of fun to share. So I hope that inspired you a little bit. And if you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button, and please subscribe so that you can see my future projects. Thank you so much for joining me. Talk to you later. Bye.